Hey there guys, Spets here, and today I'm going to be analyzing a League of Legends match from the Season 5 World Championship. This is from Week 1, Day 2, and it's between LGD Gaming, the first seed Chinese team, and Origen, which is the third seed, arguably the second best team from Europe, but again, still the third seed. We're going to start with pick and ban phase, and I'm going to explain exactly what's going on in this game. The very first ban is Varus. This is to block out the pick from Xpeke. Played a very good Varus in the finals of the EU LCS. Mordekaiser is a staple red side ban because of his snowball potential with Dragon. Get a Dragon, get a tower. It's very frustrating and very hard to deal with, actually, along with his late game damage with his Q. Gangplank, this is a ban that I don't fully understand from LGD. Since Mordekaiser is already banned, you have the choice of first picking Gangplank, or you can force them to ban Gangplank. So this is something that's very peculiar. This makes me think that Acorn or LGD don't feel comfortable playing with a Gangplank. He has some bad matchups against champions like Riven or Fiora, people that can dive onto him in the laning phase. But still, he's very hard to deny. So I don't fully understand. He's such a strong champion in the late game with his barrel damage and the utility from his ultimate. So this makes me worried for LGD right from the get-go. So the Lee Sin ban is to target TBQ. And along with another ban that they will throw out in a few seconds, it will be a part of a lot of team strategies against LGD. They're going to ban... It won't show up just yet, but it's Rek'Sai, and it's because TBQ's two of his most played champions are Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, and the third one is Gragas, which I still think is a good champion, but has been falling out of favor. So you'll see the effect it has on LGD in this game. The Darius ban is, again, a little peculiar. They could have first picked it, but maybe, again, they don't want to really play against it. Maybe they don't feel comfortable playing with it. It's been hit or miss in the group stages, but I think it has a lot of potential if you match it up with something like Lulu. So, but that's still that's worthy of a ban in my opinion if they're worried about Soaz playing it and the snowball potential that it has. So again, the Rek'Sai ban for TBQ. Arguably the weakest player on LGD. When he does have these two champions, he actually performs fairly well. But you'll see in this game when he gets forced on another champion, he doesn't play as well as he should, seeing as how he's on the first seed Chinese team. First pick Lulu. This opens up a lot of hyper carry kind of champions or combinations. So like Lulu, the Juggernaut composition. So this is actually an interesting pick. This is a very contested pick between these two teams. Kalista is played by both Imp. He played it very well in the playoffs, and Niels. Wait, sorry, where is he? There it is. He plays a very good Kalista, often banned against him. So again, this is a takeaway. They don't want to give maybe both Kalista and Lulu, but again, not the greatest of combos, to be honest. Kalista and Lulu, so I don't think this was necessary. But again, they want to deny it from MP is such a good Kalista, and again, Niels is a good Kalista as well. Elise pick is just a very strong jungler right now. A lot of damage, good CC. Good early pressure. Scales into the late game with the Cocoon being like I think it's a 2-second CC, around 1.9, 2 second. So all around very good. You can dive with her as well. Probably the best jungler at this tournament, unless you're like I don't know, Lee Sin specialist. Some people would say Lee Sin is still weaker, but I think in the right hands, Lee Sin can be stronger. Kog'Maw, so yeah. Like I said before, Lulu opens up hyper carry kind of compositions, and Juggernaut is a very good composition. You can have a lot of protection for Kog'Maw. You can really wreck a team, especially with someone who's as good as who's as good at the champion as Imp is. And Braum has been a very contested pick again as a support. His level 1 is just insane. He basically allows you to level 1 into almost anything simply because of his passive and his Q. You don't want to fight into that. You get caught out, you will basically have to burn your flash. So Very strong pick at the moment, which makes me confused. I feel like he's always been strong, but people just haven't really respected what he gives to teams. So this is a hover over Kennen. This would be a really good combo with Kalista just throwing Kennen for the stun, but also Annie is good as well. This sets up a good wombo combo with Orianna if you can get the flash ult from Annie into Orianna ultimate, very high damage, or just the Kalista Annie throw in instead of the flash into Orianna ultimate. Again, very good wombo combos they have. And this is where things get really weird for me when I watch LGD's compositions, because they had the choice. Like, they see 4 champions and they get to choose exactly what they want to make this team a very well-rounded team. And you'll see, like, these next 2 picks are really weird, especially with a Kog'Maw on your team. So you'll see what I mean once they do lock it in. So all around, I feel like Origen has a good composition right now. LGD's composition looks good. These 3 first picks, they're really good for Juggernaut composition. But these next 2 will just make this team comp really, really poor. And I'll explain once they do lock it in. It will be the Vi and the Malphite. So 2 reasons for this. For Juggernaut, you don't want to be the one initiating. Well, you do want to have some initiate, but you don't want to be initiating so you have no peel for the Kog'Maw itself. So these 2 champions don't exactly fit with the Kog'Maw kind of composition. You want like peeling champions that will help peel, like I said. But Malphite, I guess, could do that. Vi can also do that with her ultimate, like things like that. But the thing is, they don't have any physical damage. They have a lot of magic damage now. They have Malphite, a little physical damage here, and as you get into the late game, Kog'Maw does a lot of physical damage. The problem with this is that there is only Kalista as physical damage on this team. So this opens up to a lot of like counter picks. Also, you have to keep in mind that here, we'll just let this run through. This makes LGD's comp very low damage. You have Kog'Maw. That's it. The problem with Lulu mid, which is where they're going to run it, is that you need a damage-focused top laner. You can't have a one threat. Even if it is a Kog'Maw against 2 or 3 threats on the other team, you will almost always lose. And this is where I said, where I mentioned you can get counterpicked when you pick a Malphite, and such little physical damage. Such little physical damage on the enemy team. Like, there's only Kalista, that's it. So what's the point of the Malphite? Malphite's really good into physical damage teams. He's really good against Kalista, don't get me wrong, but if that's the only threat, the only physical damage threat, he's not the greatest. You kind of waste his other abilities, his W and his E. So this is where Vladimir comes in. This is basically a free lane for Vladimir. But the thing is, they can still choke out Vladimir from CS. They can still deny him very much. And that's what you do against Vladimir. He's very bad in lane swap scenarios, and you'll see what LGD does in the beginning is very good. If Vlad cannot get farm and levels, he is basically useless. He only provides his ultimate for the extra damage that it provides to his team. But besides that, he's very bad without items and levels. So we'll just roll this through. You guys see a very heavy magic damage team, and normally that would be bad, but the thing is, you want to build armor on Malphite. Magic resist is okay, but again, you don't want to. If you're forced into that situation, why pick Malphite when you can pick a Maokai? He's just more effective. Like, seriously, he's better at peeling. He's better for a team fight. His engage might not be as good, but it's a targeted engage, so you can't flash it. Things like that. So we'll skip ahead. Want to get into the game real quick? Okay. So this, right now, the goal of LGD is to choke out Soaz or Vladimir from farm. That is their goal right now. If they don't get ahead, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble in the late game. Except for, yeah, just in general. I was going to say because they have Kog'Maw, they might be able to, but again, they don't have enough damage. Even with a Kog'Maw, as a solo carry, it's just too difficult. So like you see Braum, you always see this with a Braum. Early invade, you can just walk into them. Face first. It is a little risky if TBQ's in the front, but regardless. Some defensive wards from OG. And Origen on the bottom side is getting their own wards. Whenever you see teams do this, they have like a Braum or someone that you can't contest. It's just don't worry about it. Go to the other side, war that up. They got all 3 wards set up. Very good. There's still actually like there's still some holes here. Like there's a hole right here that could have gone through the base gate and through here. But it's not a big deal because Origen doesn't know that they don't have 3 wards down there. That is a little weird though. They could have put down all 3 wards. That one near the base gate isn't there. So you see, right here, I don't like this. What Soaz is doing. You want to get some levels and farm as Vladimir, but if you know there's gonna be a lane swap, like he doesn't have enough information. Like right now, he should probably just get out and try to. It's actually too late because he's all the way down here. Amazing is he needs to double jungle. He needs to get some kind of experience because right now, if LGD plays it correctly, he's going to be so far behind Malphite. You see Malphite and Vi are double jungling TBQ and Acorn. Mid lane is just going to be honestly a farm lane. There's not much. Another thing that I just noticed, I actually was going to mention this before, but Godby took Ignite against an Orianna. That seems odd. Like, really odd. Does he actually think he's going to kill him as Lulu? I understand he's a very aggressive player, and he's very good when he gets aggressive champions like Diana, like assassin champions. But the thing is, Lulu is... Like, you can harass, you can do things like that, but you're not going to kill an Orianna. Like, why even try? So he's going to have a huge disadvantage in the late game. Like, the main reason to pick Lulu is to have the defensive capability and the utility that you offer your carries. Ignite doesn't do anything for that. He's going to have a huge disadvantage in the late game because TP is just so good at global map pressure. Like right here, I don't know what Soaz is doing. I understand he wants to try to get the Krug, but it's such a high risk, low reward kind of a thing to do. He has no flash. Like, they can honestly just keep denying him. What LGD should do is maybe go get like their top jungle, keep double jungling, and just push down top lane or just dive Soaz. I think Soaz, yeah, he might just give up. If he keeps going up top, I really don't understand what he's doing. He needs to start double jungling right here. I don't like this move. Whenever you do this, you can't go to like right here. You see at the top side, Vladimir and Annie. Okay, so they're gonna wait. That's fine. They're kind of wasting a lot of time though. I don't like that. There's still some jungle camps that people could have been doing if they double jungled. But this is it seems like a very greedy play by Soaz. Like, they go in staggered. Okay, they did have a ward. Here, let me check actually. Okay, no, Annie did put a ward. So they had no vision up here. They could have been, like, if Annie walked near that, they could have just killed her. With a Vi Vault Breaker. They could have chunked her really hard and then set up a dive 4v2. So this is a big problem or big mistake by LGD. They should have kept pressuring top lane. Vlad should not be getting any experience right now. But now that Origen has been given a chance, they ward up the top side and Vladimir can be a little safer. So right here, this is a big mistake. Vladimir is getting levels. He's not getting farm. He only has 2 CS, but especially with a boots Vladimir, you have no extra HP. You just have movement speed. You're so easy to dive. Like if it was maybe like a Doran shield, it'd be a little tougher, but This is very poorly played by LGD in the early game. It's fairly well played by I would say Origen up until actually no, I would say the early game is kind of poorly played, and then once they get together as three up top, that was good. Again, there were still some like, slight mistakes that could have been taken advantage of, and now TBQ comes up top. I guess he just wants to secure this tower. To be honest, so as already did his job. I mean, he did some really risky stuff, but he already got the levels he needed. He's basically the same level as TBQ. And you see now, Xpeke can always pressure the lane. He has an item advantage, pushes us in, and God, if he's going to lose maybe a half a wave, maybe a whole wave, just because he has teleport. You're not going to kill him. If you're going to get Ignite, you have to have kill pressure, or maybe have... I understand there's other reasons for it. Actually, we have to go back. There's other reason to have Ignite for the late game. You can have some damage against Vladimir, but PYL already has that. You can go Morello Namicon, so actually I don't see that as a good reason. I'm going to go back here, though. So Malphite's just trying to sap experience in the bottom lane. You can see on the minimap. And I think it's just intuition, like that he had. He had no wards, so he just backed out. Yeah, that was very smart. The problem here is that I don't know if Soas has a freeze up top, but that's going to be very bad. This is something that happens in some games. I see it a lot with teams that don't really understand how to lane swap properly, in the sense that they don't bounce the wave off of the top lane when they kill it, and the other top laner, okay, so it doesn't have a freeze, but sometimes you see this, like I know a game with Cloud9, Balls got really far behind because Sneaky and Lemon didn't bounce the wave back off of the turret after they killed it, and the enemy laner just froze it there, and it was just so bad. Balls fell so far behind it, and it's not even his fault. This happens with TSM a lot. I remember Dyrus would always get shafted by his teammates. So Vlad still has fairly good ward coverage. He doesn't have one here, but that's not a big deal. He has a pretty good lead though. That should never happen. The reason I think Vlad is really bad in a competitive environment is because of lane swaps, and they didn't take advantage of Vlad's super weak early game. The only thing that he has to maybe stop dives is pool, but it doesn't matter. He has no way of really fighting you off. His like high cooldown Q is not gonna help him. He's just so weak in the early game that you have to take advantage of him, and he's so strong in the late game that you can't let him get to that point. So overall, just poorly played by LGD in the early game. Let's see. Nothing else to really talk about. Let's move on a little. Do they have a ward there? Okay, he cleared a ward, so Acorn knows that he's up top. He's still level 5, so he isn't behind in levels, it looks like. Okay, no, he's slightly behind. And so has a 6 now. That's really bad, though. You never want to be in that position. It's a Vladimir. Mithy should be fine. Yeah, nothing really to talk about. One thing you have to look at when Imp has Kog'Maw is once he hits level 6, if he has an advantage on you, even if he doesn't have a level advantage on you, he's really good at pushing you out. And you'll see once he does hit 6, I don't know if he's very close. Okay, so he might be doing it here. I know Mithy and Niels will get poked out really hard here. What? Oh, they really wanted that blue buff, I guess. That was not... Okay, so I sort of understand why Acorn did that. He can't contest top lane anymore, I feel like. He just added like an item disadvantage. So he tries to teleport, but... Like, whenever you're super far behind as a top laner, oh god. You want to try to make plays around the map. Malphite's really good for that. So, like, right here, Imp. Very good at pushing people out. But again, Callista is just super good. Keeping you alive. Flashes. He saw Acorn's flash, so he could just, like, preemptively do that. Very well done by him. Yeah, that was way too telegraphed. But it's a flash for a flash, so it's not the worst. But again, free farm for Soaz top lane. He almost has twice his CS. After this wave, he'll be close to twice. Yeah, and this is where they start to get some kills. Yeah, TVQ shouldn't have stayed there for how long he did. He burned his flash too. Yeah, this is gonna get really bad really fast. LGD. Imp is farming pretty well, so that's one saving grace, but I don't see how they can win this. Good flash for Godvi, got away. But now he doesn't have teleport, so he can't get back into lane really fast. Again, his Ignite hasn't done anything for him. I'm pretty sure he hasn't used it once. I really don't like that. This is a pretty early game in the tournament, so one argument he can make is that he maybe didn't expect the double TP meta to be like standard, but it's just too strong, and you don't need Ignite on Lulu. Especially against an Orianna. Maybe against a weaker melee champion, that would be, like, forgivable, but this is a really bad pick by him. But he's going to keep getting a CS advantage. This is why teleport is so good now. No matter what matchup you're in, you can always at least stay close in farm or not get ahead in farm. Because you can just simply, like, even on your first back, you can, like, get 400 gold, get another Dorans, and get another item, and then come back into lane. You're stronger than them. Even if they have Ignite, now you're just stronger than them simply because of you have an item advantage. So nothing to really talk about right now. Huge advantage for Soaz. He has double his CS, and he forces Malphite. This is like a matchup that can go either way, depending on who gets ahead first. Malphite has a lot of burst, and he can burst through Vladimir if he doesn't play safe early on. But if you're forced to get magic resist early as Malphite, you're in a lot of trouble. So just farming. Expected keeps pressuring the tower, and he can do this just because he's ahead in items. And he's honestly just playing the matchup well. Getting a lot of harass off. Let's keep moving. Okay, so Mithy, yeah, so you see, this is the strength of LGD and is Imp. I feel like people say Godvi is a really good player, but I feel like Godvi is only good on certain champions. And I don't know if people just didn't analyze or watch his games, but he was fairly mediocre on certain champions and really good on others. I feel like he was overrated simply because of his performance at playoffs and things like that. Like, he has really good aggressive champions like Diana, Yasuo, very flashy champions. Lulu, I would not say is anywhere near as good as his other champions. But Imp, I feel like, is the main carry. And I think almost every game except for one, Imp was always doing well. But he can't slow carry for the people. Too difficult. So mid and top are winning. And bot lane is honestly about 20 CS behind, but to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. It's bad when a Kog'Maw gets ahead, but yeah, so Godvi's doesn't really matter. Doesn't have teleport in a little while, so it's not a big deal. Wait, one moment, I want to see this. I think, okay, yeah. I don't like this play here, right here. This is something you have to look at in games. You have to look at how things are going throughout the whole game. And you can see why certain things are happening. So why I'm saying that is because, see, bottom lane, Imp is recalling over a minion wave, basically. He's in plain sight. You saw Neil saw him. XPK has a blue buff, and they know Imp is going back. They don't know where Braum is. I don't think he was in vision, but they know Imp is back buying his Triforce. So they rush down the dragon. This is very important. This is actually a very good move by OG. So they can force down the dragon. Spiderlings tank it for the most part. And they have Callista, so it's very easy to secure the dragon. Very good move by Origen right there. And kind of like an oversight by Imp, I would say. He just recalled in the brush. Good jump by Niels. Maybe if it was someone else that would have been risky, but he was fine. Malphite's rushing straight magic resist, doesn't have a single armor item, and against this team is honestly fine, but again, Malphite benefits so much from armor that you want to grab it. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to see exactly what made Origen make this play. Okay, so they see Kog'Maw bottom, and I think they saw Malphite teleport back. It's just like a really aggressive move, but they did it really quickly, very decisively, which is very important. Even if it does look aggressive, it was very quick, and they're all on the same page. This is very important. Imp is pushing up really far. I remember this play. Soaz tries to make a play on him, and even though he does have a level advantage, and he probably could solo kill him, he doesn't know where Braum is, he doesn't know where everyone else is. And I think the reason he made this move is because he did have a ward here, and XPK could always back him up. But he takes so long to do it that it doesn't really matter. So yeah, Soaz is basically dead at this point. And then Malphite comes in to help him. And XPK would have killed Imp here if not for Godv flashing in and ulting him. It's kind of unfortunate, but again, maybe if XPK TP'd in a little quicker, it would have made the difference. It would actually probably would have. But regardless, OG is very good at, you'll see it in the other game that I will analyze, Origen against, I think it's KT. They're very good at making the best out of a bad situation. So they make good use of rotations and map play. They do trade a tower. And this is obviously a good thing for LGD. They are not in the lead simply because mid and top are behind in CS. And they also have a dragon. So they're not really that far behind. But the one problem is that Imp is pretty strong in this. Kog'Maw, you don't want him to get ahead. So they're just having doing a replay right here. Yeah, he didn't have any vision in his jungle. It was a very risky play regardless. They had to be more on the same page right there. Speke should have just teleported right away. Maybe he thought Vladimir had it. But again, he gives up a kill, so... pretty big misplay there. But still, they're obviously in the game. They have Banshees first and Merc Treads on Malphite. It's really, really bad. I just don't like picking Malphite in this kind of situation. If you see, like, Malphite was almost the last pick. The only thing they didn't see is the Vladimir. So I don't like the Malphite pick. There's so many different options. Just poor pick and ban, in my opinion. Overall, the Gangplank ban as well was really weird. Makes me think that Acorn kind of struggling on his champion pool. Kind of weird though. I don't know. I have to see the games next week too. Not too much to say. The vision is mostly on the bottom side for LGD and top side for OG. So they'll be looking to make plays on opposite sides of the map simply because of vision. Keep moving. So you see LGD's on bottom side. This is what they should be doing. Acorn doesn't have TP advantage though, so this is a big problem. Again, Godvi has like done almost nothing in this game except for that flash ult. He really needs to get TP in this game. 1 second. Just need to see. Vladimir is just getting. Actually, I don't know. Acorn did catch up quite a bit in CS, but he has no pressure on Vladimir. He has no damage, so Vladimir has a free lane there. He can just split push, pressure the lane, push to the tower, and teleport whenever he wants. This is a very bad scenario. So LGD, they actually started very quickly, which is a good idea. But again, they might lose a tower for it. So right now, OG really just needs to... I would back up here. So I was going to teleport. That was really risky. Okay, so they didn't have vision, so maybe they thought they had enough time. Mythi isn't in that much trouble because of Callisto. You can always get ulted out. So yeah, you see. Again, Acorn wasted an ultimate for that. And PYL, did he flash ulted as well? Amazing is out of position though. So they get one catch. Did they get another? No. It doesn't really matter though. So as like, I feel like there was a miscommunication error there. So I just want to keep pushing while Mythi wanted to go in and check. So it was just like they weren't on the same page there. This might be a problem later on in the tournament. Like it might seem like right here, it might seem like Acorn has some advantage over him, but he doesn't. He's gonna just keep gaining health. Like Acorn, I think, is just trying to bait him into a fight. Maybe waste his ultimate. He could have killed him. He actually could have killed him if he turned around and ulted. Ooh. One moment. Gotta see this. What prompted them to do this? So they have vision of Lulu. They have vision of Malphite. Oh, so they see everyone except for Kog'Maw and Braum. So they see Kog'Maw with that ward right here. Down here. Next to Dragon. Alton. Mythi, he knows he's gonna die, I feel like, here. He plays it really well. PYL kind of is a sacrificial lamb. The bottom lane is honestly just carrying this game, I feel like. One for one, a support for support. Double summoners for Imp Blown though. Neil still has his flash. But OG went into that knowing exactly where 3 other people were, so... at worst, it would have been just an even trade, to be honest. So right now, no objectives up. I mean, there's Baron, but nobody's gonna do Baron right now. Let's see. Imp is quite strong right now. So this is a really good position to be in. Imp is very strong with Kog'Maw. Lulu has quite a lot of AP right now, so they're in a good position. Even though they do have a Malphite that's just going to be an initiate, he's not going to be as strong in terms of damage, which is a problem. Only a 1-threat comp. But they still have, they're in a good position to win this game. It just comes down to team play right now. Let's skip forward. Kind of boring right now. Let's look at vision. Again, vision of LGD is down here, bottom side jungle. Actually, they have some decent wards over here too. So they have Baron ward as well, which is the important thing. OG has some pretty weak ward coverage, to be honest. They have defensive wards. They don't have any like forward wards though. Oh, they were actually in. Were they in top jungle? I'll look back. No, they didn't have time. Okay. Okay, so they only put down a pink ward, and they got cleared out. Just farming, farming, farming. DPs are all up. All summoners except for imps are up right now, looks like. Acorn Slash isn't up, actually. Take that back. So they're probably just waiting for Imp's Flash. Again, Vlad has a... I feel like he has an advantage in this lane. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe because he doesn't have a Void Staff, but Acorn has no kill pressure, so it doesn't really matter. He'll slowly whittle him down. I know how this matchup goes. I played it so many times. So finally, Acorn is going into some armor. A little late, but I don't think it's a problem at this point. Ooh. Really weird. One moment. He has no vision of everyone else. He just has one ward. Okay, so like the one time that Ignite actually means anything here. I don't know why he ulted him there. That was really weird. That was a waste of an ult. Okay. That's actually not a big deal unless LGD gets an objective. Okay, so they get mid lane. Okay. One problem is that he has teleport, so it doesn't really mean that much. Sometimes teams will get kills and then they won't go for objectives, but that was good. They got a mid lane turret at least. Because they have a man advantage. Imp will get dragon as well, maybe. So that was actually a really bad play by Soaz. He didn't have vision of anyone else. Very risky. Should have played it safe. I know he wanted the farm, but he had to play it safe. He dies a lot in another game, I think, against KT when he's playing Fiora. And again, he just gets caught out, 1v1'd, things like that. You can't make those kind of mistakes. I mean, like, you can't expect some magic to happen every game. You'll see later on in this game, just one play happens that really turns it around, but you can't expect those things to happen. So he needs to play a little bit smarter. I mean, he's ahead by 40 CS, but just give up those, like, maybe 10 CS and just don't die. It's more important just to keep farming as Vlad, keep getting levels. Don't die. That guy is really strong, though. I don't know how close he is to his... He's 50, almost 50 CS up on mid lane. Let's see. Wait a minute, what is he doing? So do they have vision on Baron? Does not look like they have vision on Baron. He just wants to ward. Does he have any wards? I can't tell. I don't think he does, but... He should have flashed. Why didn't he flash? Ooh. That was painful to watch. They're using a lot of ultimates on him, but they get the kill, so it doesn't matter. Should have just flashed. Play it safe. I know you want to check Baron, but flash it right away. Play it safe again. Kind of mistakes that shouldn't be happening. What the heck? What did I just see? Did he just ult? Did Acorn ult? No, he didn't. Okay, that was just Braum. Braum is flash ulted. Soaz just gets locked up. Braum passed up. Yeah, he just dies. Maybe if he reacted fast enough, but ooh. Maybe he's just trying to take up. What? Did he just survive? One moment. Maybe he's just trying to counter engage, but early QSS on Kog'Maw keeps doing damage. He tried to be just a sacrificial lamb. Is he gonna get away? No, okay. So they had to flash. Xpeke has to stay alive here. He has to be the wave clear. That was Peke wasn't in position to help him out that fight. He was on the other side. One thing that you have to look at though is Niels is playing very well. He's playing safe. Like, no reason to take any risks. He flashes out when he needs to. Uses summoners when he needs to. And as like as a rookie player, like that's very good. I feel like sometimes when players play for a long time, they kind of just forget these like basic things. They're okay with making mistakes more because they've been around. But Niels is just like he's playing really well. So right here, flash ult. Yeah, there was very little time, so I just had to pull. So yeah, he was dead. Once he got ulted, he was dead. So right now, OG should just back up. Ugh. Once they saw him getting ulted, they should just backed up. Peke is not anywhere near. Like 5 more seconds, and he's finally here. Like just back up, guys. Yeah, Peke just flashed away. He's playing it safe. Let's see. So right now, even though they have a 5-kill advantage, they're not that far ahead. LGD. They have a dragon advantage, 1 turret advantage. But I think it just comes down to the CS advantage on mid lane has a huge advantage. He already has a Void Staff. He has his Sork Shoes as well, on top of that. He probably has enough gold to go back right now and buy. I think he will go buy. Vladimir has a good advantage, about 40 CS. That's why it's so much closer than it actually seems like. Bot lane is not actually, yeah, he is actually pretty far behind. Simply just because of the kills. 3 kills and assist. So Imp is going to have to solo carry this game. He's going to need his team to protect him. And this is the last thing he should be doing, getting caught. I know he wants to solo carry, but you can't do this as Kog'Maw by yourself, like actually by yourself. I just wanna look at this, just because when I saw it in game, I was like, oh my god, this could have been really bad. He has creep advantage. He just keeps running away, gets out of Vladimir ult and Orianna ultimate, and this could be really bad, but they actually kill him, so it's not. But that was really that was rough. Wonder what they were thinking after that. So that's a really bad position to be in. Like, he was so strong. He gave up I'm pretty sure, I don't know how big of a bounty it is, maybe 400 something. But that was a kill that just they couldn't give up. They had so much pressure on the map. Now they just give it all up. Oh, they might even get a bot tower here. Do they have TP? No, they don't. Yeah. So this is why I keep saying Godvi needs to get teleport. I think he learns after this and he just gets teleport every single time after that. He's actually one of the players that actually did get teleport, even on like aggressive champions like Diana. So, which is kind of confusing to me why he got ignite. I understand maybe against the Vladimir, just so you always have an answer to him. But regardless, I don't like it. Like, he's just getting farther and farther ahead. Yeah, so the casters are talking about Peke. He should be pushing, but again, he doesn't have ward coverage on bottom side at all. So it's a little risky. Not worth it. Again, playing safe. Oftentimes it's much better to just play safe. Like, you always see these flashy plays and you'll see a really flashy play later, but it's playing safe, using your vision to your advantage, what information it gives you, and play off of that. If you don't have enough vision, just play it safe. Right now, let's see. I want to see the items. Okay, so finally, Soaz got a Void Staff. This is where things get very tough for Malphite if they do meet up in a split push scenario. Before it was semi-close, now it's not going to be close at all. Mithy is fine because he has close to ultimate. He can be more aggressive. Let's move this forward a little. There's a lapse in vision for LGD. Are they gonna try to rush Baron? Wait, what happened? That's really weird. They had one ward. Maybe two. That's really weird. Yeah, they had two wards. Wait, no. They don't even have any wards. I was looking at the wrong team. Where are all their wards? LGD has some forward wards, but they don't have any on like Dragon and Baron. They have one on Baron. Directly on Baron. But they just gave up Dragon. That was really weird. I guess they don't want to fight because Imps flashes down. That's the one thing I see. The only reason I would see them not wanting to fight. But then they try to go to Baron. They at least get the vision. One ward. They need to get more wards down. But it looks like they don't know what they want to do. Very disorganized. Okay, so this is where the play happens. Malphite teleports behind. OG. So this is what you have to do when this kind of scenario happens. You have to go on the weaker side usually and kill them. You have to take them out of the fight. And even though Malphite, I would say, is the weaker part, but you don't want to run into their turret. Then you have nowhere to go. At least you go to your side of the map. Here, let's take a step back. See the teleport. Mithy uses Talisman. They're kind of in a really bad position right there. They were really clumped up, but Niels dodges the Vault Breaker. And this is where things go really, really bad. TBQ ults Mithy. The full HP Annie. Who gets close to ulted. So right there, that's like a huge pressure gone off of Niels. He doesn't have to worry about that. Oof. Let's go back. Now let's watch that again. Let's go back one more time. Wow. Okay, so again, TBQ ults Mithy. Wasted ult right there. Vladimir has a good position on the backline. He doesn't get imp, but he's too far away, so he gets two people. That's not bad. Pulls in, again, a big pressure. And this is where things get really bad. Annie gets ulted in. Imp should have either flashed out or maybe used, I guess he's going to use QSS right here. Okay, so Annie ult into Orianna ultimate, and then they're just dead. Acorn was the only one who had pressure on Niels, but honestly, Niels wasn't even the big threat there. It was Orianna and Annie having that AoE wombo. Just in general, just like a poor team fight. Impact to flash like immediately, and even then, I think it was over. Didn't matter. Going after Acorn. I don't think they're gonna get him here. Could be wrong. Okay. Oh, okay. He still has Rend up. Yeah, this is where things just get really bad. And at this point, Origen's so far ahead. We can get a Baron. Yeah, Peke has teleport. Does he have it up? Yeah, he has teleport up. So he can teleport in if he absolutely needs to, but he doesn't need to because Malphite doesn't have teleport. TBQ's going there, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't think he even needs to be there, but he just wanted to be safe. Just give shields so they don't get low. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. They turn around, kill the jungler. Yes, no? They just don't want to have a 50-50 chance of it happening. And he does die, but wow, he got his ult up really fast. He has okay, so he has double cooldown reduction, so he can ult more often. Didn't expect that to be up so quickly. Imp is dead, yeah. They had to stop the Baron, but again, I don't know. They can't do much. God, he's just being annoying right there. I don't think there's really anything else to really talk about this game. There's always the possibility of a comeback with the Kog'Maw, but it just seems like some players on like LGD aren't making the right decisions. Imp is trying to solo carry, but again, you can only do so much with a solo carry threat against an Orion that's so big of Vladimir late game. Against the Callista, they just have a better team fight, in my opinion. Yeah, there's nothing really to talk about there. They just got blown up. Right now, Soaz just needs to pressure top. He has TP advantage even. Get that pushing really hard. With Baron, this is, I mean, even more efficient than it was before. They should honestly just give up this turret, in my opinion. They have quadruple cannon Baron minions. Yeah, they can honestly just let the minions do the damage. I think Annie's even going in a banner. I could be wrong though. I think the Baron siege is really hard. Wait a minute. Yeah, so is this fine? He got really low though. That's closer than I thought it would be. They did force Vlad ult though, so they don't have really much pressure bot here. So I was actually looking at this before, and you see the wards on bottom side for LGD. Acorn should just go back to base and teleport in there. But instead they try to do like the frontal assault, like just run at them. Like that's gonna work. It's really odd. It's like they forgot how to play like they usually play. I don't know what Silas is doing. He's just farming the jungle. Yeah, at least be with his team. Even though he doesn't have his ultimate. He's pressuring mid now. They don't have Baron anymore, do they? Can't tell. Okay. Yeah, one more auto. Yeah, he doesn't want to risk it though. No reason to. They're so far ahead. And again, this is what I mean. It's so telegraphed. Like, even though he has home guard, it doesn't matter. That's so telegraphed. They both flash. Acorn doesn't have an ultimate. This fight's over. What the hell? Why did Godvi ult amp? What the hell? What? A Vladimir won't kill you. Even an EQ from Vladimir won't kill you. He doesn't have ult up. What the hell was that? No offense, these players are much better than me. That was just... It looks like he's just on tilt. Another thing to look at is that Soaz's positioning. He does have ult up right now. Finally got it back up. He gets a 4-man ultimate, an E, and a pull. And he gets out. He has Zonias too. He's in no danger right now. The backline of LGD couldn't do anything. DBQ should not have gone in. Now if I ult down, they just gotta back out. Minimize their losses basically. So again, they're like not on the same page, and like this is actually a problem that occurs just in teams that have the same language. But with I don't understand this right here. But with teams with like multiple languages like Chinese, Korean in this case, I imagine this is like very difficult. Like I don't know what Acorn is doing here. I guess he's trying to slow them down, but that was a waste of teleport. Like that's a really big waste of a teleport right there. Right now they just are on tilt and the game is just slowly coming to an end. You have a dragon. Third dragon, so dragon isn't really a possibility. Fifth dragon, that is, I mean. So that's not a problem, but LGD is so far behind. It seems like they're just not playing like a team anymore. They're just kind of going full solo queue. They're just showing it again. TBQ goes in, hoping that his team can follow up. He goes on XPK. But you have to realize that if their Vladimir is right there, he puts out so much pressure with his ultimate. And he's so hard to kill because he has Zonias, he has Pool, his passive is just so good in the late game. And it's just like they let him scale too fast. Kog'Maw can't solo carry. I mean, you have a Lulu, but she's not enough. She's not like a damage threat like Oriana is. She's not gonna win you the game. Right now, teleport advantage again because Acorn wasted it. Even if he could contest Vladimir, which he couldn't. Doesn't have teleport. They can do the split push pressure again. Yeah, so Mythy did go a ban, and I actually like this, especially against like heavy magic damage top laners, or just magic damage team comps in general. You just get a what is it called? You get a banner of command, and it's very hard to take down if you have only magic damage. It just automatically pushes immune to magic damage, so they can't do anything. They just have to auto. It's really frustrating. But Kog'Maw does come down. So he's forced to come down. They don't. I wish he planned that a little ahead of time. Wes actually has wards now, so this is good. He doesn't get caught out. This is very important because death timers are really high right now. Best ward of this. I don't think anything's going to happen anytime soon. They're positioning around Baron. Wait one moment. Okay, so they try to make a play on... This is kind of what you have to do if you see someone get caught out. Lulu speed up someone up. Does he have red buff? I think he does. Yeah, he does. So he forced an ult out. So this is really good, actually. This is really good. Soaz is just pressuring the bottom tower, though. Ooh. So they have to win this. Someone has to teleport. Nobody has teleport. Oh god. So at this point, it's just like a breakdown in communication. They just go for an all-in, and it was just the wrong decision. Bad shot calling. At least that's what it looks like, and they still lose the fight. Let's go through that one more time. Mythy is pressuring. He's always in front. That's a really good thing that they're doing. Putting Mythy in front because he always has Clust ult. So he stuns the Kog'Maw, forces out QSS, very important. So they're just kiting back. They're just trying to hold out as long as possible so Soaz can do a backdoor. And they still lose the fight. Yeah. Yeah. At this point, it didn't really matter. I think no matter what LGD did, they were done. Yeah, and this is the end of the game. So, two things, in my opinion, really lost them in the game. Champ select. They banned out the game plank, even though they could have first picked him. And they picked Malphite with three. Was it three at that point? Yeah, it was 3 magic damage focused champions on the enemy team. And you only have Callista, which is he's good against Callista, but still I don't think it's worth it until you know. I think Malphite's a really good last pick if you have like a Jace mid, 80 carry bottom lane. That's pretty good. In my opinion, maybe Lisa in jungle. That's a good time to pick Malphite, but when he did, it was not good. Also, they didn't deny the Vladimir wall enough. They denied him the one time, and then they just stopped. They just kept farming the jungle and gave up on that. You can't let Vladimir scale. He's really good in solo queue, in my opinion, because I play Vladimir a lot, and I understand like the weaknesses of the champion. But you can get exploited so hard in the early game, and even more so in lane swaps. So those are the main things. That one fight, TBQ wasn't very good at target selection. I think if he ulted the Kog'Maw, not the Kog'Maw, the Callista, Niels, followed up by a Malphite ultimate, they could have done something there. It would have been actually much closer of a fight. So long as they obviously didn't get 4 or 5 man ulted, it would have been very close. But again, that fight basically turned the game completely on its head, and that's where they lost it really. So a lot of problems that they would need to fix for Next week, honestly, there's 0-3 now, so it's tough to even say that. But again, just things to look at and their weaknesses. In my opinion, Godvi, people overhyped him coming into this tournament. He's very good on certain champions. He didn't play those champions, and he won Ignite this game. Again, he just didn't have an impact on this game. He had sort of an impact, but let's be honest, not anything close to like what Imp had or someone else had. Well, Imp tried to have. He did make that one mistake bottom lane, so you gotta remember that. But again, just overall, their team didn't seem cohesive. A bad pick ban, things like that. So we'll see next week. Thanks again, guys, for watching this. I will have a few other games uploaded, hopefully around the same time I upload this one. And I also will do analysis, hopefully for next week. I always try to pick the really interesting games. This one was in a pretty big upset because LGD was first seed. I think this is their first game as well in the group stages, so very big upset. I thought it was very interesting and very clear flaws in their game right now, so I thought it was important to highlight those. Thanks again for watching, guys, and look to the future for my my other analysis videos. I will have them up at around the same time, like I said before. So see you guys then.